We don't have the fastest car today, but I still feel like we're going to win this race. I mean, I don't tell you that stuff unless I believe it. Just all we got to do is be ready when the guy that's got the fastest car fumbles, and we take advantage of it.
Do you believe in your own mind that you are the best race car driver in the world?
This whole team is young, and what a wonderful future they have ahead.
Checkers are out, and it is Jeff Gordon victorious. Winner of the inaugural Brickyard 400.
Worry about this kid.
Oh, the championship goes to Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon is certainly one of the greatest drivers we have out there. We may have another Dale Earnhardt.
Can he win? Who knows how far he can go?
Can we just get it quiet in here for just a second?
This is our first official Tuesday meeting. First thing you're probably wondering what we've got going on is we're making a video about our Speed Week trip. It's kind of the home movie of the Rainbow Warriors.
And Mark, in '95 we won the championship. In '96 I felt like we should have won it. We won 10 races and we just really kicked butt. And we lost the championship. And I was so afraid that the guys would be so focused on that and that we were so tense all winter building those cars and get ready to go that I just said, you know, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Everybody got into it.
Come with me. New Kevin Costner film, I'm starring.
Sometimes I was the interviewer screwing around.
You're recording.
All right, Chad, say hi. I'm on Ray. This is Ray Evernham's Home Movies.
Hello, my name is Chad Knaus. I'm on Ray Evernham's Home Movies.
Son of a bitch wants to bend down like that. I can't get it.
You can't, don't say, this is a family show.
I mean that son of a gun.
I, as a crew chief, Jeff as a driver, the team never gave anybody that kind of access while we were together.
I totally forgot about it. I don't think I've ever seen it.
98% of everything that happened that week is been recorded by those cameras.
I don't care what people say. If they don't think we dominated the sport last year, they're just crazy. And guess what? It ain't going to change in 1997. Refuse to lose. That's the motto that we have this year. You know, it's time to go after the big one, and that's what we're going after. It's time to win our first Daytona 500.
If you're going to have a career in stock car racing and it's going to be complete, you got to win Daytona 500. Simple as that.
Daytona can be very finicky. You know, it can be very rewarding, and then it can just rip it away from you in a split second to make you realize how difficult it is to win the Daytona 500.
We had a chance to win in our rookie year.
I made some rookie mistakes that cost me a chance to win it and finish 5th.
Second year, we finished 4th. The third year, we could have won it and gave it away. The next year, we went back and totally screwed up.
Oh, car in trouble. It's Jeff Gordon in the wall.
You only get one chance once a year to win the Daytona 500, and you never know how long your career is going to be. It was on that bucket list of races that you must win before your career's over.
Anytime we went to Daytona, you always had to worry about Dale Earnhardt.
Well, they said to be the best, you got to beat the best. I don't know anybody better at Daytona than Dale Earnhardt. It was intimidating to race those guys. Richard Childress Racing was an institution. They were great at speedway racing. Their stuff didn't break.
The rivalry to me was not that I didn't like him. I respected him so much. The rivalry was, I'm the young kid. He's the intimidator. We were buddies, we were friends, at least I thought we were, and he was great to me. But then we'd get on the racetrack and the first person he'd hit would be me.
Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt touched in turn number 1.
He's going to be tough to beat. In the 500, no different than any other coach, you're going to go and do what's best for your team. So I hired a young man.
And there's Ricky Vyers. You normally see him in black. Talk to us, Ricky. What's it like to be a Rainbow Warrior loading up?
He had come from Earnhardt's team to be our tire changer. Ricky brought a little newness and some of the things that Childress's team had done over to our team. We combined those. I wasn't trying to hurt Richard Childress Racing, but I was trying to help Hendrick Motorsports.
We're set right on our heights, right?
Mark me a mark right there at about 10 and heavy eighth. In about 2 hours, we're going to load this thing to go to Daytona. We're doing our own inspection on it, the same inspection that NASCAR is going to perform on it on Thursday. We want to make sure it passes. If it passes our inspection, most of the time it'll pass NASCAR's inspection. Daytona is the toughest inspection of the whole year. The long template and the nose template, every other template, every other new measurement we fit. Yep. We're just trying to prevent ourselves from having a problem when we get down there on Thursday so we can concentrate on getting ready for practice instead of getting the car through inspection. Put your marks heavy so they see them. I don't even want them to have to think about it.
Boy, I'm glad it's 20 years later, but I'm going to tell you, most of the time that we did that, right, everybody checks, well, you got to check your stuff. Now you check it because you want to make sure it's right, okay? Back then, we used to check because we knew it wasn't right. It was rehearsal. How were we going to get what we wanted through inspection?
This is the worried look. Did we do everything? Are we going to be all right? This does not go away till your first lap on the speedway, and then it either goes away or it gets much worse.
We're going to load that car and finish loading all of our tools and equipment on the truck, and we're going to shut the door. We've been working all kinds of hours, but it's time to go. You know, we've had enough being cooped up for the winter inside the shop. It's time to go race. Whoa! We're going to have a toast and head off to Daytona to have some fun. Here's a toast for all your hard work, and maybe we're toasting 10 months early for a championship, but here's to you guys, and here's the first of many drinks of champagne you're going to taste this year. Cheers. Cheers.
That was the very first time that we did that. It sounds cocky and it sounds egotistic, but I really felt like if the Rainbow Warriors, if that team felt like I really believed it, they were going to believe it too. That Daytona 500 was a real crossroad for that number 2014. Whenever you roll into Daytona, it's always special. When the sun's coming up there and those tailgates are coming down, it's almost a spiritual feeling in the morning like that. It's quiet, and then all hell breaks loose.
Speed Weeks was a busy time. 11 straight days of on-track activities, practices, followed by qualifying for the Daytona 500 front row. Then we'd have more practice. You know, you're always trying to improve your car through these practices. And Thursday before the 500, we had the 125-mile qualifying races. That would set the field and starting order for the Daytona 500. After that, a couple more practice days, and then, of course, the main event, the Daytona 500. But before we could do any of that, we had to get our car approved through NASCAR inspection.
Need a bottle of Advil before we get out here, won't we?
It's just that they get a little bit out of control with the stuff.
Ultimately, until that inspection sticker is on the windshield of that car and you're clear to go on the racetrack, it's just not a lot of fun. When you're doing sleight of hand, you're always wondering if somebody's gonna see you. My stomach was in a knot. I did these 10 things. Oh, please, I hope I can get away with 7 of them.
What do you think about Ray's efforts to try to get around NASCAR's rules and inspection?
Isn't that his job? I thought that's his job.
I hope there's a statute of limitations. But we'd actually manipulated the back bumper on that car to make it wider by pulling it back and adding corners to it. And when he put the bumper template on it, it stuck out.
I'll work with you best I can, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just a little confused on that deal there. Because, I mean, we don't have one of them templates home, and it's
I wish you did. It'd make my job
They actually helped us. The part that we had manipulated was not the part that they were focused on. Because we had manipulated the corners, it held the template off the back of the car.
I just worked awful hard on that to have that deal.
I'm totally surprised.
Yeah, if we're gonna stick that close to one of them templates we don't have, like, I just don't understand.
There was play acting going on. There were times when you would do the obvious, or you would have to act like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. I'm just some modified guy from New Jersey.
If we go do it, you'll give me a sticker before I leave here today?
If you get the work done on that, you'll get a sticker.
If we went to Daytona, I don't care if it was back then or today, and I came to a crew chief and I said, well, how did inspection go? Oh, great, we flew right through. I'd be very disappointed. And I would say, that car's not going to win this race. So I always looked at, you're doing your job.
Give me some angle grinders, a drill.
Hey, Buddy Rowe.
Hey, Jeffrey.
You having fun?
Oh, yeah. You know...
Like that? Hey, I did that for you guys. So make it exciting.
Can we cut for a minute? What happened here is we didn't pass one of NASCAR's 60 or 65 measurements. A little bit of an oversight on our part. We want to fix it, get it right, because it was actually to our advantage. It was a disadvantage leaving it the other way. So we're working, every thousandths counts, every little bit of body work that you do sometimes can help you.
Right. Give me a little bit more in there.
All right, give me that hammer. I'll do it on the other side. I want to leave here with a sticker. I'll beat the other side out. Huh?
We'll work with you.
Okay.
The funny part is we didn't fix any of the stuff that we did. We actually just kind of got in there and tapped around a little bit. You know, we went back to the template 2 or 3 times. They just wanted to see you doing a little bit of work to making sure you were paying attention and had done some things on it.
All right, we'll get the sticker.
It was part of the sport back then. It wasn't blatantly cheating. Everybody played the template game.
How you doing?
Good, how about you doing?
You see Rick coming out. Ask about him.
Sure will. A lot of people have. We're going to start doing some things for him here shortly. You won't see him this trip. He's just got on some new medications that make me pretty sick.
Unfortunately, Mr. Hendrick was diagnosed with leukemia. It was certainly a shock to all of us.
Up to that point, all I'd seen with Rick was, you know, this happy-go-lucky guy, worked hard and was always on the go at the races, at work, and, you know, seeing him like that was really tough.
Thank you for coming. I know it means a lot to Rick. I talk to him every day, and I know that just the people standing behind me here mean a lot to him, and that ought to just say enough about what kind of guy he is. But there's 2 things he asked me to do. He said, make sure that Hendrick Motorsports wins the 3rd championship in a row, and make sure we turn this into something good. So what we've done is taken the 1-800-MARROW-2 number. We've made a bunch of decals. We're going to offer them to everybody to carry on their cars. This is a number that you can call and get information about being a bone marrow donor.
It was about raising awareness. By being a bone marrow donor, you could actually save someone's life.
There's an air of anticipation from the drivers after worrying during the offseason. Let's go ahead and play the game. Let's get in the race car.
This looks like a pretty good run for Jeff Gordon. If the speed is there, we ought to be able to see it.
He crosses the line and
he did not improve.
Yep. Still 48.289. Best lap for Jeff Gordon. That is 26th fastest.
If you show up and you've been working hard all winter long to build this race car, and if you get there and things aren't going the way you want, then yeah, it's disappointing, and you might have some concerns.
How's the car running?
Oh, we're not as fast as we'd like to be. I'm sure your times will show that.
Really think there's some cars there just going to kick our butt.
Dale Earnhardt completed his couple of laps, 9th fastest.
How's the car? How's the car, Larry?
Car's pretty good.
Now, wait a minute. He's asking you questions?
I don't say that. Just pretty good.
Just pretty good. So you can't say it's real good.
It's just pretty good.
Dale Jarrett has been the fastest just about all session. He has a 47.683 second lap, is about 0.4 of a mile an hour faster than everybody else.
I was worried about it, no doubt about it. They were fast.
At first it was, they've got more power. They've got a faster race car.
That damn 88. He took that thing. I'm right on him. Right along. He went up the middle of 1 and 2, and he went up high. He turned. I mean, I thought he was getting loose. Like, I got in there right on him. He started kind of doing like this, and he went. I'm telling you, he drove by 3 cars.
To me, it was like an afterburner. I mean, he just had power, and it was concerning.
Obviously, extremely busy at this point. How's your car?
Pretty good. You know, if you weren't good when you got here, you're going to have a hard time being very good.
Everybody goes to Daytona, and we're all sandbagging, right? We're all bitching about everybody else's cars because we want an advantage. So you make a big deal and take the attention away from your car and put it on, oh my God, those guys, they've got big motors. Oh, they've got better handling.
You got about 40, 50 more horsepower than us?
Well, that just equals out the horsepower coefficient number that you have over us.
Speaking of the microphone here.
You go up and you're complaining in NASCAR.
I mean, we're going to get our ass killed with these Ford deals. They'd be lucky to be a Chevy in the top 10.
And you get your driver to complain.
You need to go see the powers that be.
So they're all complaining about how fast that stuff is, and they're not paying attention to you.
Go ahead, do your little imitation of the 88.
I'm telling you, that son of a bitch has a
Now,
button.
don't curse. I want to use this in our film here.
That guy has a button. And he just pushes it anytime he wants to. I was right on him. I don't know what we can do. I don't know what we can do.
All we can do is get the thing, both of them to drive as good as we can get them to drive, and then that's it. I mean, there is nothing else we can do.
Laps, 1 chance at the pole. We have 50 cars lined up, ready to go in qualifying. But you're not going to see it for a few minutes because it continues to drizzle right now here at Daytona.
A lot of green.
Qualifying for the Daytona 500 is a little bit different and sort of strange. You're out there making 2 of your fastest laps like a normal qualifying session, but everybody's going for that front row because that's the only 2 that are locked in. Everyone else is going to get their starting position for those 125-mile qualifying races. And based on what was going on in practice, we weren't exactly sure just how fast we'd be.
If we get that thing in the top 15, 16, I'll be doing backflips. Top 20, I'll still be smiling.
Qualifying was always stressful for me. Seemed more stressful at Daytona. You stand, you wait, and think, and hope, and pray. When you feel like your self-worth is attached to how fast that car is, it gets pretty stressful.
He's on the pole for the moment.
Who's on the ball right now?
Grissom,
Grissom.
47.55.
Oh, come on.
We should be able to run a 0 something, I hope, unless we screwed up.
How you feeling?
I feel pretty good, but I haven't qualified yet.
We were lacking speed. Maybe we just had too much drag in the car, but when you're lacking speed, you're looking at every area you possibly can.
Where are those guys finding that speed? It's unbelievable.
Billy Standridge is on the racetrack. Jeff Gordon is rolling. Bad news is sprinkles are being felt again.
Stop it, stop it. Stop it, caution, caution. Throw the caution light, caution, caution.
The rain is picking up. Oh, and he spins and bangs the wall.
Yeah, he wrecked. Jeff did? No. Sandridge wrecked.
Jeff Gordon will be waved off. Jeff had already left the pits.
What do we do now? As soon as he started to leave, it was like, whoa.
Yeah, I know, it felt weird.
Jeff Gordon has pulled his Chevrolet back in.
The fact that we went out and had to come back in, our motor was hot.
We're still going to go for it, but probably what's going to happen, the car's going to overheat and it's going to slow down a little bit on the second lap. But we didn't really have a shot at the pole anyway, but we needed everything we could get to get a good starting spot in the 125.
Well, Jeff, obviously you're not real happy.
I feel like that cost us a 10th. I went out and heck, the water temperature went right up. We came here to race. We didn't come here to qualify, and we'll get ready for that.
Time and qualifying is so important there because that determines your starting spot in the 125. You start in that 125 in the middle of the pack, you've got a really good chance of getting wrecked. And then, talk about being behind for the Daytona 500, you're worrying if you're even going to be in it.
How hot did he get, Ray?
It's 260. I mean, it's whatever. We'll put another one in there. What the
Sometimes having a little bit of challenge ahead of you helps you keep your head in the game. It makes you find a way or look for other ways to win.
What are you doing?
Come down and pick on my buddy. You got him working?
Yeah.
He's working.
Yeah.
I taught him a lot of bad habits.
Did you? Well, it's taken me a while to break him, but he's doing all right.
One of the greatest memories I have is the fact that I was able to have a relationship with Dale Earnhardt, because that guy drove me. You know, you meet people or you spend time with people in your life that make you better. Okay, and because of he was who he was, he made me better. And the fact that he allowed me to kid around with him was even more fun.
Hey, what's the deal? Well, you know, your teammate hold it wide open and you didn't? I mean, did you,
Yeah,
you lifted over there, didn't you? See, now Bobby asked me this morning, and I said, you just got a little bit scared going down there.
Nervous. Not scared, nervous.
Just nervous and got let off of it a little bit. Hey, you'll get the hang of it. Don't get disappointed.
I was busting his chops that Mike Skinner had out-qualified him and whatnot, and I think it upset him. Didn't mean to get him mad, because the last thing you want to do is get him mad.
Now I know why I had to pay the price on the racetrack for that. It was you.
You didn't get too many shots at Earnhardt. He normally got a lot more at you.
You've seen what kind of day it's been. You know, you're going to go through it some track, sometime, some way. It just happens to be Daytona this time. Come on in, Dave. What?
I just didn't get my VP card. I get
Take two. When you have this many problems early in the week, that normally means you're going to have a good day at the end of the week. 8 days to go.
We didn't qualify very good. In practice, the car wasn't necessarily showing speed, and you know, in practice you're in these single file runs and hard to really gauge just how good the car is.
Even if we were the fastest car in practice, I think we'd still be trying to figure out how to make it go faster.
I probably was a little bit hard on Jeff and a little bit hard on the crew, always looking for more.
Go ahead and get that carburetor ready. We'll do the carburetor. We got about 28 minutes, and I'd sure like to make it back out and run 10 laps or so, guys.
We were really tight.
What happened was I had to pinch off
We had to work hard on that, but if you know earlier in the week how much you've got to gain, you've got something to shoot for.
Right now they're getting ready to give the green flag in the first 125. Our car's in line, lined up, starts 11th in the second one. It's important to watch this one. It gives us a little bit of an advantage because it's a good opportunity to find out who's fast and who's not. Hopefully help your driver find a good groove or a bad groove. Where you finish in this race determines where you start in Daytona 500.
As they come to the stripe, it's going to be Dale Jarrett showing his muscle with Mike Skinner in second spot.
All right, Jeff, here we are right here.
Gotcha.
You know, I always knew that the 125 was the best practice session that we could possibly have for the 500 because it would give us true tire wear and temperatures and whether you could maneuver the car around.
We get in that race and march right to the front.
Jeff Gordon is on a tear. He's up fighting for third.
And I started realizing that you could get some momentum off of turn 4, and that momentum would take you through the dogleg on the front straightaway. And as you get through that trial or dogleg, you could sort of get outside of somebody's mirror and make a big move that was hard for them to block.
Oh, look at them push each other around. That's Gordon on the inside.
What a bold, gutsy move.
You're the man. Good job. Go ahead and line up. You'll catch him. Good job, Jeff.
Earnhardt continues to strive for another victory here.
All right. Looks like our only shot might be making him get loose. I don't think you got any help behind you.
Earnhardt did not want Jeff Gordon right up behind him. It said it set his car a little bit sideways. What are they telling Jeff Gordon from his pit? Get up there and loosen him up.
Dale, just amazing at seeing the air and knowing how to block the momentum. He knew what you were thinking. You're trying to set him up on a pass, and he's like, no, you can't set me up. I'm the one that came up with how to set up the pass. So if you could make that happen on Dale, you could make it happen on anybody.
Okay, coming up on 5 to go. I don't know that you got any help there, bud. We'll have to try and figure something out.
When it's coming down to the end of the race, it is frustrating to watch, knowing that you're going to finish second if nothing happens here.
White flag, here we go. Elliott's there, the only one he might come with you.
Time is running out. This is it. Earnhardt deployed first. Perched right there in second spot is Jeff Gordon.
We just don't have anything for him, guys. Sorry. All right, 10-4. We're going to have to work on it. We'll have to get a little bit better. Good job. You did a good job. Good job.
And across the line, it is going to be Earnhardt. What a 500 we're going to have at Daytona this year.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that's the best car I think we've ever had here. You know, it's just, you need help to get by that lead car. It's tough to do by yourself.
And I just felt like we had the better car. If this race kept going and we were in the 500, I felt like we had the best car. That was a great feeling to have.
The car worked real well. I was just a little bit neutral with Jeff really tight up behind me. That's to be expected. Jeff, he was working it. He'd fall back there that last 2 laps and try to work, you know, a draft on me, but it didn't work. We was able to pull on out there.
Well, it's definitely not the Daytona 500, so it's hard to get too excited about it, but it's good to know we got a good car for the 500.
That was a good run for us. It let us know that we're going to have to get a little bit more speed. Car handled great, so our chassis setup is good. It's awful hard to pass here, and we need some help. Being out front is going to be extremely important on Sunday.
Got that TV camera right here.
We're good.
Chill out. Ray's not in a good mood today. If we don't do good in the Daytona 500, this tape will be worthless. Bye.
I needed a break to think about what was I doing? Was I doing the right thing? Why the hell did we finish second? We qualified not great. We've come back and finished second. We've got a good starting spot. We got to win this Daytona 500, and I'm the guy that's responsible. Let's stop the Hollywood. I got to get to work.
We were good, you know, Benny. I think we were pretty sharp, pretty sporty there, you know, but we put a race motor in yesterday and we've lost the edge. Really? Thursday, he said it was probably the best car we've ever had here. Right now, we've got to work on what's going on under the hood. We had everything clicking along good, and now it's another obstacle. You don't come here to run good. You come here to win, period. You know, we've done good in it a couple times. I'm not going to be happy till we win this race.
You didn't come to be part of the show, you came to be the show.
Exactly. This is liable to make it go faster, or it's liable to feel like junk. If it feels like junk, we've still got some. You know. Yeah. Well, let me be the first to know.
Yeah. We're going to take a good look at this thing. It started fluttering on me.
I just didn't feel like it was as good as what I saw in the 125.
It just feels flat. I mean, it's not making any thunder. When it gets up here, it just accepts it, and it comes alive. I mean, it just, boom, shoots up there, and just takes off. But it's not in that range very often.
The only thing that's changed is the engine. You know, to have such a fast race car and be so good, and then put the race engine in, go out there and not feel as good, was concerning.
So, like, what are you supposed to do when the driver says the motor's not good enough, and what do you do then?
All I got is what they give me.
Me too.
You gotta out-team them.
Yep, we can do all that.
Think them, out-team them. We can do that.
There just comes a time when you got to say, look, you know, you're actually better than you think you are. It's time to get ready to race.
This is the accommodations we get at the racetrack.
Good. We've saved thousands of dollars on rental cars by sharing the ride in the van.
Okay, we're good to go.
Come on in, everybody. Showtime.
open for business. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's still early Daytona 500 morning. We've been here for an hour and a half since dark. It's not the fastest car in the field, but I feel like we're going to win this race.
I felt like the morning of the race, we gave you a car that could have run in the top 5, but we were relying on you to do the rest.
Yeah, I mean, I had confidence after the 125. I knew that because the car drove so good. Certainly was concerned when we put the race engine in that didn't show quite the speed that we wanted.
We don't have the fastest car today, but I still feel like we're going to win this race. Just all we got to do is be ready when the guy that's got the fastest car fumbles, and we take advantage of it. We get control of it, we keep it. I'm going out. See you guys out there.
Got some Bud Light, Budweiser. Anyone care for some beer?
Jam-packed crowd here at the World Center of Racing, ready to see what we fully expect to be a great race.
You know as a competitor how big the Daytona 500 is. There's just a different vibe. There's a different sense of excitement and pressure.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Am I going to be able to make the move at the right moment? Am I going to get that opportunity? You can't wait to get the green flag so you can get those thoughts out of your mind and just go to work and start racing.
All right, guys, you're the Warriors. Don't forget it, man. It's going to be a day. Let's have some fun.
All right, man, just like we talked about, you know, we gotta ride. We gotta think long term.
Green flag goes in the air, and we are underway in the Daytona 500.
Everybody stay in single file. Now Earnhardt's coming on the inside.
And Earnhardt has already taken the lead.
Here comes Gordon down to the bottom, challenging Bill Elliott for third spot.
And he's not going to be able to do it, though.
He tried to pass Elliott. When I saw him, he had him down on the grass, and then he couldn't get by.
340 out front. Your times are about the same or a little bit quicker than when Earnhardt was out front.
Gordon goes high. He goes very high.
Automatically, we were wondering, whoa, what happened?
Limping around, Gordon trying to get it onto pit road. They say it's a flat tire.
Here we go, guys. Nice and easy. We don't need to do anything more than we do. Here we go.
The fact that always amazes me is that he was able to catch that quick, call out to us that he thought he had a flat tire, get the pit road.
They were going for the lead. Now he may lose a lap.
The leaders are in the middle of 3 and 4.
I come off pit road, I'm all by myself, and I thought we were just sitting ducks.
Try and stay on the front of that thing till we can catch a caution. Don't be hard, they're coming fast.
And I specifically remembered looking in my mirror and just saying, all right, what am I going to do here?
He does not look like he's going to be able to hold him off.
I can either just let him go and try to get back by him, or I can block a little bit. And as Mark got to me, I made the decision, sort of snaked down the back straightaway, thinking, well, maybe I can hold him up a little bit. And all of a sudden, he falls in behind me, and I stay in the lead lap. This is when I realized how fast our race car was.
We had run over something in the right rear, got the right rear tire about spun out. You know, the only thing we can do now is hope to stay on the lead lap until we get a caution and try and make some of this up. But, you know, it's just, I don't know. That's part of racing, I guess.
Oh, trouble on the backstretch. Greg Sachs gets spun out of line. Sachs now doing pirouettes through the grass.
And a big break this yellow is for Jeff Gordon. Gets back onto the lead lap and back into contention to win the Daytona 500.
Back in this thing. Great job, guys. Never die, never quit.
I mean, that was the game changer. Not only at that moment did I realize, wow, is our car fast? But whew, we just stayed on the lead lap. We're back in the game. We just got to work through the traffic and get ourselves back up to the front.
Jeff Gordon still trying to fight his way through traffic. Gordon right now showing in the 18th position in some very, very heavy traffic.
He had to work his way through packs and then break away from those packs and catch a whole nother pack.
Jeff Gordon on the move.
I'd say on the move.
He is picking his way through traffic to the inside or outside right now, going high for the banking of turn one. Jeff Gordon now emerges into this field.
Just about lost a lap, but he's up there now fighting his way back towards the lead.
To see a car come from the back at a time when people were saying you couldn't pass, he was finding a way to pass all these guys.
Here comes Gordon. Jeff Gordon is back in it. Earnhardt has moved into second position, and Jeff Gordon has come to third.
I didn't think we'd see him stay back there too long.
Come on, Jeffrey!
15 laps to go as Bill Elliott comes flashing across the start-finish line. Who will win the 1997 Daytona 500?
As the laps start winding down, riding behind Earnhardt, all right, I've got a car capable of winning. I'm capable as a driver of winning this race. If he gets up off the bottom, off that white line, I've got to put my nose in there.
Whoa, jump to the back straightaway!
This was the deciding moment in this race.
As the laps wind down, the Daytona 500 and 6 cars running a single file draft.
Attaboy, stay on them. You guys are getting away a little bit.
We didn't really have a plan right then that was really going to be up to Jeff. You got 5 greedy race car drivers. And then it wasn't going to be about Ford or Chevy at the end. It was going to be about winning Daytona 500.
Like any race, you're trying to either create an opportunity or be ready for one if it happens. And sure enough, he's not lifting, I'm not lifting. This is a huge moment in this race.
Here goes the pass. Gordon making a move on the inside of Earnhardt.
Whoa, jump to the back straightaway! Dale Earnhardt!
Down the back straightaway. Big trouble. Earnhardt out.
Man, he hit that wall, and we touched a little bit. I look up my mirror, and here he is going upside down. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. You know, I didn't want people to think that I just wrecked Dale Earnhardt Sr. in the Daytona 500.
When he come off the wall, he caught the right side of our car, but Jeff didn't hit him. Never touched. Jeff never touched him.
Car hit the wall. You never touched him. He hit the wall, and then he come back across, and Ernie got him. Oh, no, the 88 got him.
That was amazing.
After flipping his car, climbing from the machine, getting in the ambulance, Dale Earnhardt decided what he saw was finishable. So he got back into the race car, strapped in, fired it up, and has driven it back around the pit lane.
I got in the ambulance, and I looked back at the car, and I said, man, the wheels are still on that thing. I got out of the ambulance and asked the guy inside the car that was hooking it up. I said, secret crank. He cranked it up. I said, get out. Give me the car back.
That was the craziest thing I ever saw in my life. I'm standing on pit road, and he drives by me with that roof all smashed and everything. He looks at me, and he gives me the finger. And he wasn't like he was mad at me. He was just like, yeah, I'm still going.
What a pile of grit. Earnhardt is in the car. He's barking instructions to the crew.
They ain't gonna let it throw without a spoiler of some kind. We just need to try to get it put on there somehow. Tape it on there. Just tape the thumb it's on there.
I had so much respect for him in some ways, but I was scared to death of him in other ways. You know, I didn't want to be the guy that Dale Earnhardt beat up.
Got 200 cars behind you on this restart, buddy. Buckle your belts tight, clean your tires off good, and be ready to go here. There'll be 7 laps to go when you get to green.
And now you have those Hendricks cars, second, third, and fourth. Will they team up and try to take it away from the Ford?
The whole time I thought, okay, I'm just going to let Bill take off and build a gap. And I've got my teammates behind me, and Terry Labonte and Ricky Craven. Felt pretty confident that if the 3 of us worked together, we could make a move on Bill.
Whoa, look down on the flat here. Gordon's trying to get by Elliott.
I just barely got there. Bill definitely tried to block it, and I had so much momentum, I got my nose in there. And he ran me down below the yellow line, but I just never let up.
3 wide coming into the turn. Jeff Gordon is the man who picks up the spot.
The Hendricks stable giving it their best for Rick Hendricks here today. Gordon out in front.
Terry Labonte takes a look to the inside of the leader. Jeff Gordon dives down to the bottom. He'll defend the spot. Now trouble up in turn number 4. One car slides to the outside of the racetrack. It is a huge multi-car accident.
Get wreck behind you, wreck behind you. Caution is out. 4 to go, 4 to go.
When you take the lead in the Daytona 500, You either want to see a caution that ends the race or you want to stay green. You don't want to see another restart because the leader is in a very vulnerable position and could very easily lose the lead.
Wait a minute, he said he's going to put it on. He hasn't said officially yet, so let's wait just a bit.
He said there's all over the track. Don't tell him not to this race up.
You don't want to end this under yellow. I know you don't, right?
Yeah, we do. I mean, I don't want to end it in a wreck.
I don't either.
Then you're worried. Man, are we going to come back around? Do I put enough gas in this thing? Is it going to be all right on the banking? What if we got a flat tire? All those what ifs are running through your mind. What would have been laps of 50 seconds to win the Daytona 500 are now laps of 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And people are lining up and you're like, don't talk to me because you're going to jinx me. Don't ask me about it because we didn't win it yet.
If you do take the checker flag and you do go to victory lane, you are the greatest race driver I have ever seen.
Well, if I do take the checker flag and we do win the Daytona 500, you boys are awesome.
Of course, we were talking a lot about is it going to go back green, but you do get to think about the significance and the excitement of winning the Daytona 500.
Let's come across here, 1, 2, 3.
Look at them lining up to come across.
It's 1, 2, 3 Hendricks cars.
Yes! We won the Daytona 500! The Daytona 500!
This was a first for really all of us. Everybody on that team came from somewhere where they worked their guts out to get there. Those memories that got you there start to just sort of flush out.
I thought about all the people that had given me $5 or $10 to help pay a pit pass on a night that I didn't really have the money, or help load my car when it got wrecked. People that had the same dream of being there and doing those things that never got there. And I felt like I was representing all of them and that they were with me.
As I'm coming to victory lane, somebody handed me the phone, and it was Rick. And I could tell how excited he was, and it was like mission accomplished. We set a goal to come down here, win this race, make the boss proud, and maybe make him forget about the things he was going through, and we did that.
I gotta go talk to the world here, buddy. Thank you so much. We love you, and this one's for you, man.
To be, the crew chief on the car that's won the Daytona 500. If I never win another race now as a crew chief for the rest of my career, I feel like it's pretty complete. I'm a very lucky guy.
Woo! Honestly, I never thought I would see myself in victory lane for the Daytona 500. This is wonderful. This is, the greatest honor you can ever have as a race car driver.
It's an amazing accomplishment and overwhelming, and it's almost too good to be true.
I mean, I know y'all not going to believe this, but this is not scripted. We just refuse to lose.
It was really a key moment for our race team because it really let them know that we can do anything. We left thinking we got all this on film, being a bunch of cocky bastards, if you will, and got it done. And now, 1996 is just a memory. It's all about going forward. I think you could say in the mid-90s, the Rainbow Warriors had a dynasty for Hendrick Motorsports.
I just think if we could have stayed together, boy, what could we have continued to do?
Those guys, as a team, were incredible. When we played together, it was magic.